This video is about biology, about basic cancer, which is genetic, like part of my family. But I didn't have anyone that had cancer, so those are fun things that have breast cancer. And I know many of you are watching this video. Why am I looking at this? So, if a construction worker lost the blueprints for making a house, a boat, or a car, they won't be able to do it. It's like the cell. So the basic cancer, the basic sentence that I give you for cancer is basic loss of membrane integrity. But in Georgia Frontier's life, she was a St. Louis native who became a homeowner hero, a hometown hero when she brought the Rams of National Football League from Los Angeles in 1995. Died in January 18th. She was born, she was 18 when she died. Miss Frontier had been hospitalized for breast cancer several months. Diagnosed with breast cancer in 2007. So around when many children were born in my years. So Frontier spent the rest of the year undergoing treatment, but her condition rapidly deteriorated and she died in UCLA Medical Center on July 18, 2008. A statement put out by her children read, "Our mom was dedicated to being more than the owner of a football team. She loved the Rams players, coaches, and staff. The warmth and generosity she exuded will never forgotten. She is survived by two children, 6 grandchildren, and her compassion of 19 years. Arthur Warlock." So basically, she was, doctors saw that she had breast cancer in 2007. So she got treatment, but the cancer was still going rapidly, and later, before she knew, she died at medical center on January 18, 2008. Cancer affects the cell cycle by uncontrolled cell proliferation in the hallmark of cancer, and tumor cells have typically acquired damage to the genes that directly relate in their cells. Gene alteration affects P161 Inc. 4A and serine D1 proteins that govern phosphorylation of the cytoplasmatomia protein, which is RB, and control of the exits from G1 phase of the cell cycle are frequent in human cancers in evacuation of this pathway. What many will necessary tumors develop, like the tumor-sponsored protein P53 proteins of the RB pathway, although not necessary of the cell cycle per se. Many participate in checkpoint function that regulate homeostatic tissues neuron throughout life. Symptoms of breast cancer vary from person to person. So the cancer affects cell cycle when it's like an interphase in a stage of G1 that can investigate of the pathway and tumor development. When I told you men can also have breast cancer, not only women or females, says all people, whether males or females, are born with some breast cells and tissues. Even though males do not develop milk-producing breasts, a man's breast cells and tissues still develop cancer. Even so, males' breast cancer is very rare. Less than 1% of all breast cancer cases develop in men, and only 1 in 1,000 men will ever be diagnosed with breast cancer. So it's very, very rare that men have breast cancer, but it is possible to have breast cancer in a male, not only females. In men, breast cancer is detected as a hard lump underneath the nipple and areola. Men carry a higher mortality than women due permanently because awareness among men is less, and they have likely to assume a lump is breast cancer, which can cause a delicate in seeking treatment. And next, I will say the it's called the symptoms of breast cancer. It can be skin changing, such as swelling, redness, and other visible differences in one or both breasts. And here's some other ones, like an increase in size or change in shape of the breast or breasts, which in the appearance of one or both nipples, nipple discharge, then the breast milk, generally pain in any part of the breast, lumps or nodules felt on or inside the breast. And the more specific symptoms are irritated or itchiness on the breast, changing in breast colors, increase in breast size or shape, changes in touch, so when you touch it, it changes in some way, peeling or flaking of nipple skin, so dead skin, a basic a breast cancer, breast lump or thickening, redness or pitting of the breast skin, and some risk factors of why you could get it is lack of physical activity, poor diet, being overweight or obese, drinking alcohol, radiation to the chest, combining hormone replacement therapy or HRT, and those are the risk factors, but in detail, lack of physical activity, a sedentary lifestyle with a little physical activity can increase your risk for breast cancer. Poor diet, a diet high in saturated fat and lacking fruits and vegetables can increase your risk for breast cancer. 3. Being overweight or obese. Being overweight or obese can increase your risk for breast cancer. Your risk is increased in you have already gone through menopause. Drinking alcohol, frequently consumption of alcohol can increase your risk for breast cancer. Again, the more alcohol you consume, the greater the risk. So if you're an alcohol person, you could have a higher risk than a normal person that doesn't even drink alcohol. A radiation to the chest, having a radiation therapy to the chest before the age 30 can increase your risk for breast cancer. So for some reason you need to have radiation to the chest before you're 30 years old. That could increase the risk for breast cancer. And combined hormone replacement therapy or HRT. Taking combined hormone replacement therapy as prescribed for menopause can increase your risk of breast cancer and increasing the risk that the cancer will be detected at more advanced stage. So if you do this, it's a higher risk you have it, and they won't attack it like that early. They will attack it like when it's like very, very advanced. This means some treatments are choosing your doctor, standard treatment versus clinical trials, surgery, chemotherapy, radiation therapy, chemotherapy, targeted therapy, nutrition and physical activity, and follow-up care. In choosing your doctor, working with a doctor to guide your breast cancer treatment decision is a key. Determine what you need to do, cultural positive and partnership with your doctor, and when it might be prudent to seek a second opinion. So you'll have to discuss this with your doctor if you have it, and if you think it's kind of unsafe, you could ask like another doctor to tell you if it is good to do it or not. They won't mind to do that. And the second one is standard treatment versus clinical treatment. Before selecting your breast cancer treatment plan, it's a good idea to understand the difference between standard treatment and clinical treatment so you can make an informed decision about what's right for you. So you could either pick standard treatment, which I think is the basic, versus clinical trials. And then surgery. The most common form of treatment for breast cancer is surgery. This involves removing the Timor, and nearby Morgan's surgical opinions may include a lumpectomy, partial mastectomy, radiation mastectomy, and reconstruction. The next one is chemotherapy. It is a breast cancer treatment method that uses a combination of drugs. It either destroys the cancer cells or slows down the growth of the cell cancers. Radiation therapy, also called radiotherapy, uses high energy rays to kill cancer cells. It affects the nearby skin cells only in a part of the body that radiates with the radiation. The Herrmann therapy is if the cancer cells have a hormone receptors, you may be prescribed hormone therapy drugs such as blockers or inhibitors. Both types of drugs help you destroy cancer cells by cutting off their supply of hormones. Targeted therapy uses drugs that block the growth of breast cancer cells in specific ways, often reducing the side effects. So they could do, the side effects can be small, medium, large. And nutrition and physical activity. It's important for you to take a very good care of yourself before, during, and after breast cancer treatment. Then follow-up care. You will need regular checkups after treatment for breast cancer. This helps to ensure changes in your health. Noted and treated if needed. And some facts about breast cancers is 1 in 8 women in the United States will be diagnosed with breast cancer in her lifetime. Breast cancer is the most commonly diagnosed cancer in women, so mostly common in women. And like, what was it? What's it called? Like 1 out of, less than 1% of men could get it, but more common in females. Cancer is the second leading cause of cancer death among women. So cancer is the second most dead, that kills more women. Which each year it's estimated that over 246,000 with 660 women in the United States will be diagnosed with breast cancer, and more than 40,000 will die. So let me just look this up for a while. 246,660 divided by 4,000. So 6.16% of women will will die of breast cancer. Although breast cancer in men is really rare, an estimated 2,600 will be diagnosed cancer and approximately 400 will die. so I think it'll be less than the women's. Let me just check. Two 600 divided by 4. Yeah, it'll be 5.9 that will die each year. On an average of every 2 minutes, a woman is diagnosed with a breast cancer, and one woman will die of breast cancer every 30 minutes. So every 2 minutes, a new woman has breast cancer, and every 13 minutes, every 13 minutes, one woman dies that is diagnosed with breast cancer. And over 2.8 million breast cancer survivors are alive in the United States. And the resources that I had is Cancer Center, Livestrong, Washington Post, nationalbreastcancer.org, and Wikipedia. Nationalbreastcancer.org is where I got most of my my evidence for breast cancer. Washington Post is where I got some of my info about Georgia Frontier, and Wikipedia is about to find her life part, and Cancer Center is so I could find how it affected the cell cycle, and nationalbreastcancer.org is where I got the symptoms. So in a couple of words, breast cancer is just a basic loss of membrane integrity. So it means that when the DNA sends the RNA, it doesn't have the complete blueprints for the proteins, so they could provide the proteins. So they make them like small, big, normal size, all different sizes of proteins that could cause this in many different ways. So this was the project about breast cancer, and I hope you enjoyed.